Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I hope you are enjoying the networking opportunities here at the IFX Expo Asia 2024. Without further ado, let's explore a comprehensive approach to client relationship management and business growth strategies in this session. Together we thrive, IBs, and community buildings. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our moderator, Sir Sikander, Senior Business Development Manager from the Thaiger, who will introduce his panelists. So, ladies and gentlemen, please ensure that all provided headsets return to the collection points at the end of this session. Ladies and gentlemen, may we have a big round of applause?
Luka, co-founder TradeLocker. Mr. Nikunj. He is from regional head of Unicorn Technology slash Techie Squad. There's Mohamad Ibrahim here. He's COO of Kama Capital. And there's Sherwan Zeybo. He's the global head of business development at fxgt.com. Thank you guys for coming. Yeah. The topic that we have today is Together We Thrive, IBs and Community Building. I would like to first initially ask you guys to give an idea of this theme based on what your definition is, IBs and community building and its importance in the current financial landscape.
I would say IBs or growing your broker through IBs is one of the best ways to do it because it's like an extension of your brokerage. It multiplies your efforts, and it's another team basically outside of your company that is growing together with you.
Yeah, so I would like to say that IB is intermediate between the clients and broker firm. So it's helpful to how communicate between the traders and broker and their engagement, how they are with different educational resources and technological tools they use to get the communities engaged.
Sherwan?
So IBs are actually a vital part of every brokerage's success. So what happens at the end of the day is you create this ecosystem where the IBs in partnership with the brokerage end up creating an ecosystem where all parties involved are beneficial and aiming for the success of all parties involved, of course. So IBs are a very, very important part of every single brokerage.
Thank you, guys. If you don't mind, Nikunj and Sherwan, if you would talk a bit louder. It's the music, actually, yeah? Anyways, so I would like to introduce initially the Thaiger. So what we do, for example, is we work with clients like yourselves as well to produce media and marketing materials to give you brand awareness, lead generation, and all of that. And what I would like to say is that this has helped in a way to increase signups, traffic to your websites and others as well. And so this is basically the idea of my background as well, right? So, Sherwan, I would like to ask you, how has the role of IBs evolved in recent years, particularly in relation to building and maintaining communities?
All right, basically over the past years, I mean, especially over the past 7 years, there have been a huge development in the ways of that IBs operate. So let's say 7 to 6 years ago, what was an IB? An IB was a person with a small community where they had an influence over. And nowadays, IBs evolved to being media sites of authority that can help affect either positively or negatively your brand, your name, the way they portray your image as a brokerage to their clients and to their audiences. So the development we have seen over the past, especially 6 years, it's unbelievable. It's really astonishing what they've achieved. I mean, you went from an IB having an influence over a couple of hundreds of peoples now to IBs where they have media sites, they're offering some sort of technology or whatever it is to influencing millions of people. So the development that we've seen is absolutely amazing. I can tell you, we for a fact enjoy that development because what it shows that these IBs have turned from individuals to expanding to successful corporations. So the development has been absolutely amazing.
Got it. Thank you, Sherwan. Overall, main discussion I would like to carry forward. This is the value of community building for IBs. About building trust, Nikunj, this is for you. How do IBs build trust with their clients and partners, in your opinion?
Yeah, so as we know, the trust is essential part for the trading communities. So for making trust, it's very hard to manage from IB and between the traders. So for that, they first of all they need to be transparent for all operations that held in the any platform and their organization. That there is no any hidden cost there. So the traders get more trust on the IBs and their broker firm. The transparency is the main thing that need to follow by IBs to when they're educating their traders and communities. Also, the valuable sources that market insights that provide by IBs to their traders. It's important to build trust, and moreover, we can say that. If any broker firm they are providing the demonstration for the playing with the money which is not losable, so it's helpful for traders to get the more knowledge about the markets, and they can easily get involved in the communities, which is very helpful. Plus, if we can say in the tools, technological tools, if any broker firm used with the CRM tool, they provide the instant deposit and payouts, regular payouts, which is helpful for traders to get more trust on the broker and IBs as well. So it's very helpful. And the reporting system which provided by technological tools is also the major part to build the trust between the traders and IBs.
I appreciate that, Nikunj. Luka, this question is for you, the next one. Do you have any suggestions or thoughts on how we can build successful community building strategies and that have resulted in long-term client retention?
Yeah, I think Sherwan can also give really good advice on this one because he's been doing it for many, many years. But what we've seen and what I've seen in my marketing and 10 plus marketing career, 10 plus years, is when I hear trust, I connect it immediately with predictability. So trust is built by getting predictable outcome every time throughout a long, long time. And I would say the best strategy is make it personable. Everybody nowadays tries to automate everything. Now do the opposite. At least in the beginning, if you're a new company, make it personable. Try to semi-automate things that others automate and show personality. And I think that's the biggest thing. Every activity that you do, figure out how to squeeze the most out of it in the most personable way, and start conversations.
So you're talking about a more tailored to each.
Sorry, can I repeat?
More tailored to each client or
Yeah. So
anybody.
it's like it's all focused on what does that mean? If I was a trader and I receive this message or I get this type of communication, would I like it? Would I enjoy it? Would that improve my experience? If not, then why would you do it?
Got it. Thank you so much, Luka.
Yeah.
With regards to technology in this community building, right? How can IBs ensure that they use technology without losing the personal touch, which is critical for community engagement? This is similar to what you just mentioned, Luka, but I would like to hear from Sherwan, please.
All right. So again, recently, over the past 3 years, especially, we've seen a lot of IBs start to integrate technology into their offering. AI being an example. But the more experienced IBs, they make sure that the personal touch is always a priority. Because at the end of the day, as an IB, you're the first point of contact to this community. So that is what they value the most. Yes, what you offer on top of that technology-wise, it's an extra, it's an advantage that they absolutely love. But maintaining touch is basically based on three things. First of all, you need to provide constant support to your community, make sure that all of their needs are met. Secondly, you need to identify what your community is interested in and have that as a priority, and your offerings as a second priority. And the third is always being transparent with your community. So if you ensure you have these three pillars, the personal touch is always there, and whatever else you offer on a technology level is an advantage that you have over other IBs within the industries.
Got it. Thank you, Sherwan. Mo, how do you think? How do you suggest that social media has and other communication platforms and CRM systems have impacted this same situation?
Well, definitely positively. They have positively impacted the IB client relationship by improving communication through communication channels, platforms, optimizing processes in CRMs. I'm sure Nikunj would agree with me on this one, especially we have worked on some big projects together. And of course, expanding reach through social media. Now, pretty much anyone can reach everyone, everywhere. So, yeah, they do make, what I believe, they do make IB client relationship more dynamic, more, I'd say, client focused. So yeah, big time. Like it's been there since 5 or 6 years, especially when it comes to CRMs. We've had a couple of brokers before using such technologies, but nowadays it's a must for each and every broker. So they have to rely on it, and it's a selling point at one point.
All right. Thank you, Mo. Would you like to add something?
No.
Okay.
Hold the microphone.
The one about overcoming challenges, right, in this community engagement. How can IBs address common barriers, such as regulatory hurdles or cultural differences, when building these relationships? This question is for Sherwan and Luka. Please. Whoever wants to go first.
All right, so if we're speaking about regulatory changes, I mean, at the end of the day, every IB or affiliate should always make sure that they're following regulatory rules to the last decimal points, as we say, because at the end of the day, it assures the safety of their community and the safety of them. So that is something a must. In terms of different cultures, obviously, IBs, especially big ones, they're exposed to different regions. Every region has a different mindset or mentality when it comes to the CFD industry. So all of these things need to be taken into account, because you cannot provide the same things you provide as an IB to clients from different regions. So a complete understanding of these cultures and these regions is needed in order to be able to build the community successfully. So.
Yeah, I would agree, and also, as I said in the beginning, IBs are like an extension of your team. So it's a huge advantage of having someone in a different location who understands the language, the culture, the regulation, the laws, the ways people use social media, or the best way to market to them, and then use them as an extension to your team to go to another jurisdiction with less risk, less resources, using also all the advantages that offers.
I appreciate that. For Mo and Nikunj, what are some of the biggest challenges you think that IBs face when trying to build a loyal and engaged community, either locally or globally?
Yeah. So nowadays, as we know, the competitors is everywhere. So biggest challenge is the competitor, which is in market with the same level in the building community. So when the IB is providing the tools and any resources that is helpful to engage the community, they need to stay up to date for that, and with the market, and provide the things that is not there in the same place with their competitors. So it's a big challenge to give the up-to-date resources every time. New upcomers traders and the experienced traders have their own profit goals. So when it's about the resources, the same resource is not useful for all the traders. So at that time, IB is hard to handle that part, And when IBs is initializing, at that time the trust is a more important part. So it's very hard to get the trust from traders because the fraud system is everywhere. So no one can easily believe in the IBs. So it's also for new IBs it's a challenging part. And whenever we we are talking about the retention of the clients, so to stay for the long term growth, so at that time if IBs is not rewarding their traders and communities and not giving the new opportunities, and then at that time the client and traders is become to leave the community and join with the others. So it's also the major point that retention of clients. It is the big challenge for any IBs because the competitor markets and everywhere is giving the offers to join the community. So that is the main challenge. Also the feedback loop, how the IBs giving the feedback from their traders, how they are implementing the things like broker firm also into the part of the feedback loop. My friend Ibrahim is also came to us that IB is IB is offering this, so we need to do some operations and functions development in CRM tools, and this is also the part that which broker you are engaged. So it's also the matter to overcome the challenge. That is.
Thank you, Nikunj. Mo, would you like to add a bit to that?
I mean, a lot of challenges, to be honest. May God help them. Like, they face several key challenges in, of course, building loyal and engaged community out there. Like, starting with establishing trust with everyone, with people. Then you have to retain these clients. Then providing ongoing education. You know, the competition out there. You have to keep doing this. Integrating advanced technologies across the board. And last but not least, following regulatory compliance. Trust me, this one is painful. I mean, your question is, name some of the biggest. If it was named the biggest, I would have picked following regulatory compliance without doubt. Like, that's nowadays is a thing. We never expected this, but here we are.
So can I get an elaboration on that a bit? Like what steps are being taken to take over these? To stop worrying about these so much.
So I'll focus on that one mainly because I believe it is the biggest. The thing is that mainly from a company's perspective, from brokerage's perspective, that is a pain. So the things that from IB's perspective, that's challenging. Why? Because you're technically not allowing them to onboard some of their clients, to attract some markets, to attract some people that they might know and they've been their clients for some time now. But like, you know, new KYCs are introduced, new regulations, new restrictions, all over the world. Like initially it was mainly strict in the US, but nowadays it's pretty much everywhere. So it's very hard to those clients that they have to find the right markets, and it's been there for some time for some IBs. Now you're preventing them from attracting and keep retaining these clients. So they have to go and find some new markets out there and redo it again. So I believe that is the most challenging. We have faced this with some of our loyal IBs, I'd say, and yeah, I'm sorry for them, but sorry for us as well, but it is what it is. But so we have to stick to rules, that's number one, and then we'll challenge it together.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. When it comes to scaling the IB community, Sherwan and Luka, this is for you. Are there different approaches to community building at different stages? Startups versus established players?
All right. I would say if you're a startup, you have the advantage of having a lot of time. You're new, you're learning, you don't know exactly what the community wants or if you already are experienced, that's great, but you probably don't have a lot of resources and a large team. So I think the advantage there is you're able to personalize more things. You're able to focus more on the community and providing the right things to the IBs, and then they can provide the right things to their clients. So that's the advantage of the startup. And then how to scale personalization. That's the problem that as the startup grows and becomes more mature company, if they solve it in a better way, they're going to be able to keep that same community, expand it, and get word of mouth recommendation and grow that further. So a more mature startup could approach with more resources and then focus on the right thing. If the right thing is community, which I believe with AI, with all the technology developing, will be more and more important. Already is huge, in my opinion, the best way to grow. Because it's people, it's not some crazy strategy, it's people, it's always all about the people. So if you have a lot of resources and you can focus on making that the main thing, that can be, everything else can revolve around that. But for the mature company, I would just summarize, focus on one main thing that solves everything else. Everything else is just making this bigger. It's like just powering up that main thing.
So just to make sure I understand the question correctly, so we're talking about startup and experienced companies or IB communities?
Different approaches to community building, startups versus, different approaches to community building, startups versus established
So
players.
IBs, right? Yeah. All right, so basically the strategy, yes, is different. I agree with Luka on a lot of the points that he made. So the difference is that as someone experienced, you've been in the industry for quite a bit now over the past, I'm assuming, 4 or 5 years. Now what changed over the past 4 or 5 years is that your audience has become smarter. They know more about the industry. They understand better. So as an experienced IB, you've already made a name for yourself. You've made yourself known. So it would be easier to continue as long as you're getting creative, because nowadays you have a lot of competitors that are more or less offering the same thing. So as an experienced IB, to maintain your growth and continue growing, you need to keep on introducing creative things to your community, so your community starts expanding as well. Now, as a startup, the challenges that they face a lot nowadays is that, as I said, your audience is smarter. They know more about the industry. It's not like 5-6 years ago. So you need to come out as a figure of authority that knows what they're doing and knows what they're offering. I mean, if any of us put ourselves in their shoes, the community's shoes, I need to see someone that has something to offer, to teach me something more. What am I missing that he can add on? So the challenge is proving to this audience that I'm your guy, I know what I'm doing it correctly, I'm doing it transparently, and I'm here to support you. So these are the main 2 challenges.
I think with regards to both of your answers and what Luka said earlier, it's about the personal touch at the end of the day, and tailored and all of that. That's where all of us are going, right?
Definitely.
We love being VIPs, right?
That is true, I agree. When it comes to future of IBs, what are the concepts that you're seeing? How do you see the concept of community building evolving in the future in terms of emerging trends and technologies? This question is for Mo and Nikunj. Mo, you can go first, please.
So I believe we're in the future. I don't know. It's already happening with artificial intelligence, AI. Like the way it upgrades literally everything. We'll start with networking, like matching clients with similar interests all together. Like this group of people is interested currently in gold. Let's chop them all together. And the way it boosts the networking is amazing. Then, for example, it offers 24/7 support through chatbots. This creating a responsive client experience, it's simply lovely. I mean, I would love to be on that side of the business at the moment instead of being on the side where it's manual or semi-automatic or whatever it is. Like chatbots are pretty much doing everything for us right now. So, yeah.
Got it. Nikunj, would you like to add to that, please?
Almost all points covered.
Stole your answers.
Yeah, but I would like to say that for the emerging tool in the next generation, we can use the Power BI to more graphical view for any IBs that can check the trading patterns of their communities. So as per them, they can give some offers to their community and build a loyal and strong community using the new technology. As well as the communication part is the important, the 24/7 support always required. In the market is volatile, so anytime IBs is came to the broker, that we need the support. So the communication tools need very useful for the emerging tools in the future, we can say.
Thank you so much. We are right on time, actually, 12 seconds short, but I would like all of you guys to just give your final thoughts on just one piece of advice you would give to IBs looking for growing their communities for the rest of this year and beyond.
In my experience and my opinion, the key is simple. Just be supportive as much as you can. So nowadays, clients, they have access to similar tools with most of the brokers, including ourselves, right? They're everywhere. And by the way, by support, I don't mean technical assistance, like download the platform, register, whatever. Like customer support will take care of this. Don't worry, like they're well trained for this. Clients today, they need someone they can comfortably reach out to every 5, 10, 15 minutes, asking simple questions like, what is CPI? What is non-farm payroll? Who is this Jerome Powell? And why do they affect the market the way they do? Why the market is fluctuating when we hear them? So they need those simplified answers. They don't care about the monetary policy, the central banks, etc. They need those simplified answers for those questions. And I believe providing that level of support will ultimately lead to long-term relationship and help grow communities. That's key in my perspective. It's similar to personalizing the services because some people might be professional. You don't need to simplify the answers. You might need to do your homework to get back to them. But yeah, I believe they should have that touch, especially with beginners. And whenever you get more and more from those new clients, this will ultimately help growing the communities.
Thank you, Luka.
Yeah, I would say two things. First one is use technology as your advantage because it's already a standard, and if you're not at least at the standard, you're already losing because you're not able to be creative, fast, and you're losing resources on things that should be automated and things like that. And then focus. And then the second thing is do the things that you should do manually in the right way, which means listen. For example, if you work with IBs, if you just listen, it's the same like with any customer because they're basically your team, your customer. If they have a problem, they'll probably tell you. You just need to listen and recognize why they're saying it because it'll repeat. If it repeats, you're already losing. You could have done something about it and solve the problem, develop or introduce new tech, teach them something, give them the resources to make things better. So that's maybe the two things: technology and be creative, and listen and solve the problems.
Thank you, Nikunj, please.
Yeah, I agree with Lucas that technology is part of for fostering the communities build. But as we discuss all the points to stronger the community and engagement, but I would like to suggest that follow the 3L rules, that lucidity, loyalty, and long-term growth for any IBs to build a strong community.
Thank you. Sherwan, you got one
So
minute.
I know you said one advice, but I have three. So the first one is your community's priority. Put your community's priority on top of your earnings because at the end of the day, your community is responsible for your earnings. Second of all, be 100% transparent with your clients. And third of all, partner up with a brokerage that your clients will be safe at. That's it.
Thank you so much.
Love that last one, man. That last one is key.
Agreed. Thank you so much. So we have 1 minute left. We can take one quick question from the audience if anybody wants one. No, I think everybody has been educated enough. Thank you so much, guys,
Thank
for
you.
Thank you. Thank
for
you.
being here.
Thank you
and
very
thank you
much.
all for being here. And thank you very much. Have a good rest of the expo. Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
Thanks.